I'm Kris Hagan. For those who don't know, I've been a language coach for many years. In my career, I've taught a wide variety of people, from famous singers and radio presenters to doctors, uni students, and yes, even desperate housewives trying to find an English lover. I've finally decided to share my thoughts, tips and tricks with the world. Also check out my YouTube channel if you want to see my ugly mush. So let's kick off this podcast with a great jingle.
Doesn't matter where you are, in the car or at the bar. Here for you comes in your ears, another word for thanks is cheers. Here's the new kid from the block, here for you around the clock. Shining on his English lips, Kris
is an anagram of risk.
Kris.
Hello and welcome to this week's podcast. Today I want to start off by talking about nicknames because the person I'm going to speak to in today's podcast is in my telephone as Vlad, not a fruit salad. I'll explain more later. Now, according to people online, scientists and psychologists and these kind of people, they say that we give people nicknames because we want to make the person more ours. Well, no, I give people nicknames because I can't remember the name. In fact, I have one friend who I call Broccoli because I didn't remember his nickname, in fact. I didn't remember his name, I didn't remember his nickname. I just remembered it began with a B. His real name is Fabio, totally different. But I call him Broccoli. And now, when I talk to my friends and say Broccoli, they know who I'm talking about. But nicknames, in my opinion, are just a nice, friendly way. It doesn't mean that you're more mine because I've given you a nickname. Now, if you're around my age, you will know who Billy Ray Cyrus is. But what is his daughter called? You will probably say Miley Cyrus, but you're wrong. Her real name is Destiny Hope. With Cyrus, I'm guessing, at the end of it. Destiny Hope. Now, the name Miley came from her nickname, which was given to her by her parents, Smiley, because she was such a cheerful baby. She's also quite cheerful now because she's full of money. So Miley Cyrus comes from her nickname, Smiley. Her real name is Destiny Hope. I would change it too. Now, also, while I was researching these nicknames and things and why people give people nicknames, which in the end I disagreed with, I found a nickname generator. And so I thought, for a laugh, I'll put in my dad's name and see what nicknames it comes up with. So I put in my dad's name, because you put in the first name, the middle name if you have any, and the surname, and then 3 adjectives or words connected to your father. And I basically created some nicknames for my dad. Now, some of them are absolutely terrible in my opinion. But then at the bottom, near the bottom of the list, it says known to partner as, and it came up with some funny ones. So, Mum, if you're listening, you better be listening, but if you're listening, these are what you should call Dad. We have Victor Nova, Grapes Baby, Avocado Chip, Belfast Muffin, Victor Bear, Victor Bug, and Victor Kitten. Don't know where the bug and the kitten come from, or the bear. The other ones I can imagine, there's food and grapes involved. My dad loves his grapes. So go over to the website, it's name-generator.org.uk, put in your name and send me an email and tell me what strange nicknames have come up for you. And now it's time to get in touch with Vlad, not a fruit salad.
What do you want?
What do you want?
Hello, Vlad.
Hello, Kris.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me
Anytime.
at this wonderful podcast episode program, TV station.
Now, I know who you are and some of our listeners know who you are, but for those who don't know, who is Vlad? And tell us, why are you living in London?
So my name is Vlad, which is short for Vladislav. I like that song, Vladislav, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Vladislav.
A second job.
And
You could be a singer.
that's my first name, and my last name is immigrant. I live in the UK. Live in London at the moment. I'm from Macedonia. North Macedonia.
Hey, get it right.
We'll get to that. And I moved to London about 3 years ago.
Why?
To steal jobs from Romanians and Ukrainians, and a few Bulgarians. And so far, it's been going well. Going well. I'm competing for the jobs with them and with robots. We are holding the market for the minimum wage
Also
jobs.
Romanian robots.
So that's me. I actually came. I was living in Malta for 4 years. You know, that tiny Mediterranean island that you guys
with one roundabout
colonized a long time ago, and then you felt really bad and you left it. Yeah. that independent island now. I went there. Lovely place. And I studied there. I studied acting. I finished. And I said, what the hell am I doing? I'm not an actor. I just like to take the piss. And I started doing some open mic nights in Malta, which were like once a month. Terrible places, you know. You just go there, everybody's drunk, it's midnight, nobody cares.
Good.
You know,
Good start, then.
People are shagging in the bathroom.
How elegant.
Or doing cocaine, and then, you know, you're just on the stage just as a shadow, as a ghost. And then eventually something happens. Something clicks in the room and somebody laughs, and this is what comedians live for, is that one laugh every 15 minutes. When you're an amateur, that's what happened. And then I came to London with my girlfriend, Larissa, who is Maltese.
Hello.
And I met her there. I obviously saw a lot in her. Like, for example, she's loaded. Like, her parents are super rich.
Helpful.
And I needed an EU visa. So we moved to London together. She's a musical actress, so she wanted to continue her career in acting. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot at this stand-up comedy
Why
thing.
not?
And I started doing gigs in London, open mic nights. You know, I was an amateur comic on the London circuit,
But not in Malta.
which has about 200, 300 clubs. Played a lot of clubs.
Wow.
In very dodgy locations. Played a lot of clubs in fancy places.
Many dodgy locations.
And eventually won a few awards on the amateur circuit.
Very good.
Got signed by a talent agency. And now I am sort of a pro comic. You know, so you can find some of my stuff on YouTube.
Well, look.
Not if you want to laugh, if you want to see what not to do as a comedian. Amazing guide. Find it on YouTube, Vlad Ilic. Just type in Vlad Ilic comedy. I also did a guest show for BBC Three, What Not to Say to Eastern Europeans.
Interesting.
Yeah, check that one out. Lots of like 101 things you shouldn't ask Eastern Europeans. Like some of them are the questions that follow here, Kris, are something you shouldn't ask.
I apologize now.
Then again, I sent you that video and you should have watched it. Okay, so I am drinking tea now, and I was just thinking,
Good British boy.
we don't really drink. Here in the UK, people drink tea as a sort of
It's
as a
delicious.
leisure activity.
Leisure.
You know, I'm relaxed. You know, it's not like in Italy, right? In Milan, you have a coffee. You go out there. Oh, let's go for a coffee and a cigarette and chat about life. No, let's in England, it's like let's have some tea. I mean, you only really drink tea when you're sick, right? And then another thing is like eating porridge for breakfast. I mean, don't you give porridge to like animals on a farm? You know, it's one thing I couldn't really get about English. Anyway.
Well, we should give it to animals because, to be honest, it's the most disgusting thing I've ever eaten. And yet, Sheldon Cooper also says that giving tea or a hot beverage to people when they're sick or depressed is great. Where did the passion come from to be a stand-up comedian?
The passion for stand-up comedy...
Swallow your tea.
...came from how much freedom you have as a stand-up comedian. The fact that, you're not scripted. You are scripted, but you're writing your own script. And that, it's a sort of... it's a transfer of power, right? If you feel bad about anything, or you want to mock anything, or if somebody ever told you something that's bad and you feel bad about, you want to get off your chest, you can just go on the stage and just make fun of it. And that's amazing. It's so liberating. It's like you can heal. I've seen old comedians skipping midlife crisis
really?
because of stand-up comedy, So
good.
it's going to save you some 40,000 pounds in hepatitis, because that's what midlife crisis is. It's buying a new Porsche and
the menopause.
And whoring yourself out.
No.
All right? So,
Not
lesson
yet.
learned.
Why stand up in English, though?
Well, stand-up in English, that's the thing. I started in Malta, and that's the only reason why I started doing stand-up in English. I've done stand-up in Macedonian, and which is obviously different. I've even done it in my own dialect. And it's a totally different thing where you know the context and the culture. You can improvise jokes, man.
You can wing it.
You can just go on stage. It's a lot of hard work, and a part of it is talent, but it's mostly hard work.
And sex appeal, of course. But who checks your English before you go on stage?
How about who checks your questions?
I do.
It will have to be my girlfriend, Larissa. She checks my English. I don't really care. I announce it the moment I get on stage. You know, I tell people that they should expect this. And I think part of it, I use it as, you know, I can act a fool. I can say something that they don't like, or maybe I say a new joke that doesn't necessarily rub the right way, and then I'll just say, well, sorry, it's my English.
You get away with it. I've been told by other fellow comedians that Macedonians are not known for their humour.
Well, hold on a second. Who told you Macedonians are not known for their humor?
Marco.
Like, have we... I think this podcast starts with you asking questions and ends with me beheading you.
No.
As, you know, that's any normal conversation with a Balkan person. It's fine. You can ask this question as long as you don't say we're Greek. That's the only conflict here. No, Macedonians are known for, you know, their food. I mean, humor.
Really?
We have a Mediterranean culture, so we're not like fully Eastern European, you know, because we're so close to the Mediterranean, so close to Greece and Montenegro, and Albania's right on the sea, Bulgaria's on the sea. Anyway.
We don't like Greece.
And we are known for sort of, you know,
food,
roasting each other, you know, bantering, but laughing at someone else's expense. We're really good at that.
Maybe a Macedonian then.
I'm funny. I took on from my granddad. My granddad, he used to kind of grow up with him. He was a diehard communist, you know, and he would pick me up from school and we would watch TV together.
Oh, sweet.
And, you know, I would ask him questions that only a child can ask, like, why is our neighbor Anton so tall? And he would go, oh, it's all the radiation from the Balkan War. So he was a bit of a joker, although his jokes petrified me.
Not surprised.
Or, you know, once there was like a movie on, an old film, and one character in the film said to the other, revenge is a dish served cold, mister. And my granddad went, it's better with uranium. So definitely it inspired me to look at the light side of life, you know. Humor is such an amazing thing.
Definitely.
It has healing powers. It brings people together.
For sure.
Joy. It's pure, sheer joy. And sometimes we're too mechanized. Sometimes we forget how important taking life casually is.
And to laugh about it.
I think like the modern fathers of that humor, Monty Python, were brilliant subjects, you know. Taking the piss out of religion and formalism and traditional values at a time when they were brutally enforced, you know, at the peak of the Cold War, and it was still important to laugh, and it's important to laugh today.
Yeah, it is.
I think it will always be important to laugh, as long as you're not the one being laughed at. That's my lesson.
Definitely. So, is there a stand-up scene there then?
Is there a stand-up scene in Macedonia? Well, I was going to get to it when I said I've been doing stand-up in Macedonia.
But you didn't.
There isn't really a stand-up scene. There is like private stand-ups. So, you know, like a cousin pays you and you go there and you do a show in front of, you know...
in the back garden.
7 cousins and a goat. We have the national awards for like actors and whatnot, and then we have actors coming out and doing sort of stand-up, but it's always satirical. It's not really stand-up. It's like a sketch show, sort of like in Italy. From what I heard from the producers of B Comedy, what Marco's told me,
the amazing B Comedy,
and from the conversations we had when I did my show in Zelig. Oh, by the way, I did a show at Zelig.
Really?
Vaffanculo, Vlad, go back to your country.
You're fluent.
No, I love Italy. Brilliant place.
Sometimes.
So there isn't as such. And I did an interview recently with a national television in Macedonia.
Great.
And I'm planning to do a tour there after COVID.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Jesus.
What happened?
I didn't even notice. My girlfriend was in the room. Scared the shit out of me. Fuck's sake, don't you know how to say hello in Malta?
Hello.
Say bonjour at least, or something.
There's only 20 people
Bonjour,
involved.
there we go. Jesus Christ,
Hello.
Kris. Fucking, she sneaks up. No wonder one day I'll wake up without my dick and she'll just be waving it in her hands like, this is because you cheated
Sneaky,
on me in my
sneaky.
dream. Haha.
In a dream.
Jesus, okay.
Now, the question you've all been waiting for me to ask him, what's this thing with the name? North Macedonia, Macedonia, is there an east, south and west?
Right, so the question about the name, right? So
Do you know?
Macedonia, there's a region in Greece called Macedonia, and we are also Macedonia. That used to be all one Macedonia.
So it's two.
But because in the Balkans we're like fighting a lot, we fought like 1 century ago, and they took apart. And so we have two Macedonians now. And
Two is better than one.
we have like a polite conflict over the name.
Polite.
This is how it goes. We meet at the border, and we go, we're Macedonia. And then they go, no, we're Macedonia, Malaka. And then we both walk away unemployed. That's pretty much our whole conflict. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. From the age of Alexander the Great, when he had Macedonia, it was just getting partitioned and partitioned. And so there is, Eastern Macedonia. Part of Eastern Macedonia is now modern Bulgaria. Part of Northern Macedonia is South Serbia, and so on, so on.
How complicated.
So the conflict over the name is finally resolved, that we compromised our position. Not compromise, sorry. We made a compromise with
You
Greece
have a message.
by letting their region be called Macedonia, and we called our country North Macedonia. Blah, blah, bullshit.
That's
All right,
kind
I don't
of
want
you.
to tire you out with this.
Very kind.
But you might know it as the country that has that Eurovision song about kebabs. Like 4 years ago, Calliope, she made that song. Donna, Donna, Donna. Da-na-na-na. You should play it. Play it on YouTube.
We can't in a podcast.
It's a Donna song about
check it
kebab.
later.
Or that team that we had, that Eurovision 2002 qualifier, we played 2-2 against England. We scored from a corner.
Football.
Yeah, we broke the goalkeeper's spine, literally. The goalkeeper went to defend it, and he broke. David Seaman, that was the guy.
We all love
Yeah,
Seaman.
check that out. Check it out. Show it to your fans, Kris.
So now people understand if they're going to the right Macedonia or not, the North Macedonia one. Is it actually a nice place to visit?
Definitely,
okay.
It's a place where
Where what?
somebody once asked me, like, right, what's more likely to happen, to get stabbed there or to get an STD? And I would say it is to get an STD. But that doesn't mean that the stabbing rate is low. It just means that the STD rate is really high.
Very promiscuous people.
Otherwise, really nice place. If you stick to the mainstream touristy place, lots of monasteries, beautiful old Balkan type of
very
churches,
religious, yeah.
lakes. We're full of lakes. We have Ohrid Lake built on an old ancient town
Sounds nice.
with an amphitheater, an old bazaar from the leftovers from the Ottoman
Shopping.
Empire. Marvelous food and very cheap. So cheap.
So it's worth going just for
Like
the
cheaper than
cheapness.
Lidl stuff, all right? Like super cheap.
So like Netto.
But also, don't go in there and start going on like we're nice people. You can sit down with us. You can insult us. We won't mind. You can tell us, "Oh, fuck off, you
Uranium
one-legged Nazi space explorer." We won't mind. But the moment you say, "So do you speak Greek?" and we cut your head off. Okay, so don't mess with that. But otherwise, you should be fine. Just stay away from most towns and most highways.
And we'll stay alive.
Just pretty much go to the capital and then take a armed vehicle to Ohrid and back and
setting the
straight
toms
to
on
the
now.
airport. And you should be okay. No, I really hope you're well. I'm kind of worried myself because my throat is a bit sore, but I think it's because I drank 12 gin and tonics last night.
Maybe.
So I'll leave that at that.
Thank you very much for taking this time to talk to us, Vlad. Sir Vlad.
Bye. I love you.
I love you too.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So that was my very funny stand-up comedian friend Vlad, and I will put the links to his social media, etc. in the description below. 2, 3, 4.
Some grammar, some grammar, some grammar. Let's talk about some grammar, some grammar, some grammar.
Okay, today I want to talk about the difference between some and any. At school, you've probably learned that some is used in positive sentences and any is used in negative and questions. That is not true. It's only partially true. This is very, very quick way to tell you because it's not that difficult, the difference, but really people need to teach it correctly. Some is not only used in positive sentences, it's also used in questions. It's used in offers, would you like some coffee? Requests, can I have some more cheese? And questions when you think the answer might be positive. Me and you are in the swimming pool. No, we're not. Me and you are in the bar and you say, Kris, have you got some money? Because when you're in a bar, you expect me to have some money. But if we're in a pool, a swimming pool, which you'll never find me in because I can't swim, you wouldn't say, Kris, have you got some money? You would say, Kris, have you got any money? Because it's really a question where you've no idea what the answer's going to be. So, some is used for positive sentences, questions which are offers or requests, or questions which you think the answer is going to be affirmative. And any in negative sentences and questions where you've really got no idea what the answer is going to be. For example, have you got any brothers or sisters? You've no idea how many I've got. You can't even guess just by looking at my face.
Say it right.
Now today I want to talk about the silent H. Okay, sometimes as you've seen, when we write words in English, we spell it beginning with a H. But in the phonetics, in the actual pronunciation of the word, the H is not pronounced. Now, during lockdown and quarantine, I've seen millions of videos where people who are foreign sing songs in English. Fine, great. Check the pronunciation. I've said this a million times, a gazillion times. The word honest has a H in the spelling, but in the phonetics, in the pronunciation, it doesn't. It begins with an O. So, if I'm being honest, not honest. So, other words like hour, you already know. An hour, we know it's a silent H because you learn this from very young. You know that at school your teacher has told you the H is silent. But also the word honest, also the word heir, H-E-I-R, which is basically the person who inherits your property, your belongings. Heir is pronounced air, like the air in the room, A-I-R, but the spelling is H-E-I-R. Now, if you don't know that honest and heir and honestly and hourglass and hourly are pronounced without the H, you're going to say it wrong. So make sure, please make sure you say it right. Also because it sounds horrible. So please, 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 especially singers, check the pronunciation before you sing a song and put it on YouTube and Facebook. Now, just before I leave, I want to say, if there's any words or expressions that you heard that Vlad used that you've never heard before, send me an email with the time of the podcast and I will gladly check and reply telling you what he's actually saying. Not because of his pronunciation, I mean because maybe it's a word you've never heard before, which is perfectly fine. So now a quick shout out to Smiley Miley Cyrus, and I'm going to hand you over to the jingle. Bye.
Doesn't matter where you are, in the car or at the bar. Here for you comes in your ears, another word for thanks is cheers. Here's the new kid from the block, here for you around the clock. Shining on his English lips, Kris
Is an anagram of risk.